Welcome to Spiritually Imperfect, the show where the metaphysical meets the practical. This is your space to explore the mysteries of the universe, embrace spiritual growth, and connect with the energies all around us. No one spiritual journey is perfect, but that's the beauty of it. Hosts Mike and Jen bring their unique blend of perspective, humor, and heartfelt nature to every episode. Whether encouraging, facilitating readings, or diving into exploring mediumship, energy healing, or searching for clarity, Spiritually Imperfect is a place to where discussions of the collective experiences that we all share comes to the surface. Now, here are your hosts of Spiritually Imperfect, Michael Christopher and Jennifer Lee.
Good evening, everybody. You're not going to believe this, but I'm solo tonight. So you have me all to yourselves. Could be a good thing or a bad thing. But Jennifer is off tonight. She is working through some a family issue. So everybody send her some good vibes and prayers. She'll be back probably next week. So for tonight, it's just me. So how is everybody this Friday? So I'm just going to wait till some people jump in, and then we'll get right to it. There she is. Jennifer, did you see the cards I sent? They were pretty, at least the one I know for sure was spot on, maybe. Hello, Brianna. Hi, Cam. Bridget. Hey, KB. Hello, Sherry. Thanks, Aaron. So, yeah. Okay. So, as many of you know, I need an intervention. I bought 3 new card decks this week, and I'm breaking them in tonight. So, this is pretty cool. Clarifying Life Situations is one. The Cosmic Record deck. Please, somebody send help. I need an intervention. Take my Amazon privileges away. And the Divine Oracle, or Divine Angel Oracle deck, which is pretty cool. I mean, they're all pretty cool, but this is the Divine Angel deck. It's got the angel number, the meaning, and all that. Cosmic Records. They kind of have their own meaning, but we're going to talk about cards tonight. And then this is the Clarifying Life Situations. So again, it has the meaning on there. These are pretty cool. When I saw them, I was like, I could not resist. But if any of you know me, and I know a lot of you do, I don't plan anything. I literally came up with a topic like 10 minutes before I hopped on. I was like, I'm going to talk about cards. So that's what I'll dive into here shortly. I just want to give some time for some people to show up. Hello, Sienna. Yeah, they're cool cards. And I like that they kind of speak for themselves, but I usually always pick up on some energy to go along with them. So it's not just face value. I mean, some of them may. Some of them do speak for themselves. And again, I feel into it when I'm reading them. And if I feel it, it just needs to be left with what the card is already defining, then I leave it. Oh, you're welcome, Jen. I thought they were. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So anyway, why don't we just jump right in? So I know it's hard to see, but by a show of hands, who uses cards? I know we have several people in here that are medium psychics that use their cards. I know you've probably been, familiar with cards, how they work. I just want to explain it from my perspective, because, and maybe you're brand new and you don't know, you may think it's just somebody sitting here just randomly shuffling a card and, hey, there's one, I'll pull it out and there you go, there's your reading. That's not how it works. So everything is energy, right? Everything carries a vibration. So with cards, it's the same thing. When I do a card reading for somebody, which when I'm doing private sessions, I rarely bring out the cards. I kind of like to connect with the person. If I'm doing an intuitive reading, I kind of connect with their energy, see what's in there, and we kind of go from there, to where I'm guided to talk. Same thing with connecting to spirit. I just kind of follow their lead. But like for a situation like tonight, they're perfect because one, you can kind of get through, several readings fairly quick. So again, I'll just talk about it here really quick. So again, when I'm going to do a card reading, so I usually either I'm drawn to somebody in the chat or I pick somebody regardless. In my mind, I'm already saying, I'm setting the intention to connect with, person A. And I start shuffling, and in my mind, I'm like, what do they need to hear right now? So that's the intention set. And then I begin to shuffle. For me personally, as I begin to shuffle, I'm usually getting like an intuitive, I'm already getting images in my mind. I'm already getting a picture of something they may need to hear, which may be completely different from the card. And again, this is just how I work. But what's funny is I've never really paid close attention, but I would say a majority of the time that if I come up with something intuitively before the card is even brought out, the card usually matches the message for validation, which I think is pretty cool because it just proves that, one, it validates the psychic or the medium, that we're not just making this stuff up. These thoughts are coming from somewhere, and they're definitely not from me. I am not that clever. So again, they do have a vibration. So usually what I'll do, I'll just start shuffling. Sometimes a card will just come flying out, right? And that's the one I pay attention to. Other times I'm kind of listening to my guides, and literally they will send me a thought to like stop shuffling. So I stop. And then one of two things happen. I literally hear like the fifth card, which for me means I got to go to the fifth card from the top, and there's the card. Other times I feel I just got to fan the deck out. I'm not looking at the cards, I'm looking at the backs, but I'll start just moving them through my hands. And I'll just feel it's like, okay, I need to stop there. So if these are not the ones, I'll put them at the bottom. And I'll kind of just focus now more closely to the ones that are on top. And it's literally like I feel I need to pick this one. So that's how it works for me. So again, it's not just, a random grabbing a card. Hey, here you go. Are they 100% accurate? No, nothing is. Mediumship is not. Psychic abilities, anything metaphysical is never 100%. There's always the margin of error, if you will. So does that make sense? Hello, Carrie. Hi, Ashley, Jacqueline, Brenda. So welcome in, everybody. I am flying solo tonight, which could be dangerous, but we're just going to go with it. So what I plan to do tonight is just some card readings. I may do one mediumship reading because, again, with the amount of time that I have, takes up quite a bit of time sometimes. So I don't know. I just kind of roll with it. If I feel somebody come in, of course, I'm going to stop and do the reading. And what I may do, if I do feel drawn to do mediumship, once I find the person in the chat, I may ask you to join me on air. Whether you use the camera or not, doesn't matter. But it helps me when I can just talk with the person because it does go a lot quicker. Hello, Pam. How you doing? Hi, everybody. All right. So does anybody have any questions about cards? Curiosities, anything? I like to get you guys involved in the chat, because then it kind of helps with the energy that I know everybody's paying attention. And it's not just me making some white noise in the background. Hello, Tanya. I love some of the YouTube channel handles. Pride Before the Fall. That's cool. Hey, Joe. But yeah, so does that make sense, though, about the cards? Oh, Jennifer, yeah. It would take me too long to count how many decks of cards I have. Just looking at my shelf right here, not as many as you. I know you have you probably have a storage facility full of cards. I don't know. I'm always trading off with my sister-in-law too. I'd say probably at least 40, which is crazy because I don't come close to using that many cards. So CJ, good question. Oracle versus Tarot. Oracle is just like the lighter, more user-friendly, if you will. Tarot is more in depth. I literally have tried to use tarot and learn tarot for 10 years, but I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but I know dang well I have it. And if something doesn't interest me, it's very hard for me to focus if I don't catch on quick. I've been like that my whole life. It's like, all right, something needs to click right away, or it's like I'm out of there, So to me, Oracle cards fit that bill. They're more user friendly for me anyway. I'm not saying for other people, but I don't know. They just, for me, they're more user friendly. Maryland, I have 52 decks, but I just used it. That's usually me too. I have the John Holland Oracle deck, which I've had for years. I usually pull them out more than any other deck, but it's like anything else. It's like I need to stay away from motorcycle dealerships, gun shops, music stores. Forget it. Sometimes my wife will say, "Why don't you go look around at the music store?" I have 2 drum sets now in the house and probably 9 guitars. If I go into a music store, another one's probably going to follow me home, so I don't need that. And it's the same thing with these cards. Yeah, Ash, I think we're all a little bit of everything, so. All right. Absolutely, Carrie. Hey, everybody, Carrie, she's a diehard Yankees fan. That's one thing Carrie and I have in common, besides she's a medium as well. We both root for the Yankees because the Yankees are awesome. Right, Carrie? But now back to your question. Do you feel the vibration from them? Absolutely. When I shuffle for a person, yeah, I just feel drawn to a certain card. If they don't fly out themselves, I feel through them and I feel like that's the card. And then I follow that intuition and I grab it, and it usually matches up pretty well to what the person's going through. So yeah. Thank you, Aaron. I try to be as accurate as I can. Lies. Red Sox. No, she's not. She's not a Red Sox fan. Nobody's a Red Sox fan. Oh yeah, with books. Yeah, I know some people too that are like, they could literally live in a library. Okay. Why don't we jump in and do some readings? So for now, see, here's my ADD mind. It's like blah blah blah. I did a live the other night, and I tried to go in order from when people showed up, and that lasted maybe 10 minutes, and then I was just overwhelmed by the comments, and I lost track. And I'm like, okay, so I'll just explain really quick. If you're new here, even if you're a returned customer, I kind of just go with who I'm drawn to in the chat. That's all it is. So I'm not skipping anybody. I'm not, doing any of that. It's just I go to who I'm drawn. And just understand during this show or any show like this, right? I think it's correct. It's best to have the correct expectation about what it is. So it's just like when I go to a demonstration of mediumship and I'm not the one working, I never go into them expecting a reading. I just like being in the environment. I like to see people's reactions, to the messages that are coming through. And I just like being part of that energy. If you've never been to a live demonstration, doing these on Zoom is great, but if you can make it to somewhere or somebody that does them in person, that's a whole nother level. You just feel the energy. And from a medium's point of view, doing those, oh my goodness, it's just, you just feel the emotion, you feel the energy, you see the camaraderie, because I mean, most of the people there have lost somebody. And maybe for the first time, they're getting to sit with other people who are experiencing what they're seeing or what they're experiencing. So it's like already we have something in common, and there's that bond and there's that connection made. People then have somebody to reach out to and talk with, and some of them probably become lifelong friends because they, it's unfortunate, but they share a common, event, and that's the loss of somebody. So again, having the correct expectation, like here tonight, it's just about being here, being in the energy, and just sharing in it. So again, and I ask too that you don't overwhelm the spam or the comments with asking over and over. If you're in the chat, I may ask to see if you're still here before I pull a card, because I want to make sure you're here before I pull one for you. But other than that, unless you have a question or a comment, great. But yeah, please try not to just repeat, that I'd like a card, I'd like a card. It just fills up the chat really quick. So Nicola, I quit my job today. I need some guidance. Well, I don't know about guidance because you followed your own guidance. For whatever reason you chose to make that decision. And that's what this is about. There was something driving you towards doing that. It just, for most, I know some people just on one day, just like, I've had it, I'm done. Most people are thinking about this, for some time, because they know they're not happy there, but they're doing it because life happens. You need an income, you need to support yourself. But, we feel this just desire. It's like, I got to do something else. And again, no psychic, no medium is going to tell you, you need to do this now. No, they're not going to tell you that. It's not their decision. But there you go. You're listening to your own inner guidance, and for whatever reason, it's like, I need a change. And that's a brave step. That is an extremely brave step. And it's just me talking, but there's always something else. We may not see that right away because we're so focused on the fear that comes along with making it, taking a step like that. But there's always something else. There's always something else. Maybe it's a temporary job that just holds you over until you figure out what you want to do. Some people, are lucky and don't have to, take a job right away, and they can just take time to relax and sit and feel what happens, and feel things out. But no, congratulations. That's a huge step. So Nicola, while I'm at you or with you, I'm going to pull I think I need to pull one from the clarifying life situations for you. And Nicola, take it from me, the person that has quit their job 3 times. Oh my God, you're a plumber? Holy moly. I worked for a plumbing company when I was a teenager before joining the military. And I think back so often, because what I did, I just delivered parts and delivered, supplies. And like, of course, I was like 17, 18. The thought never crossed my mind, all these plumbers coming in to like ask them, like, how did you get started? Now I look back and I'm like, holy moly, I wish I would have did that. I mean, you can write your own. If I got to say one thing, and again, Nicola, I don't predict the future, when you said that about working for yourself, the energies just went ba-boom. It's just a feeling. I just feel like that is something you definitely need to consider. It just feels so right. I'll just say that. That's just me kind of connecting with your energy and just feeling into it. It's like, wow. So let me just see what card comes up for you as well. So I'm kind of just shuffling. Holy moly. So remember earlier, if you were here, I was talking about usually I'm feeling into your energy and usually talk about what I'm feeling, and look what comes up. Gentle release. Okay. And it has two meanings, but I'm going to read the one that I saw first. Now, normally I don't read the comments on the card themselves, but this fits. It says, let yourself surrender to the flow of life, life's mysterious currents. So there it just validates for you that, you know, that big brave step is a step to just discovering, you know, other possibilities. And it's scary as hell. I know. But I hope that card helps. And wow, I wish you luck. I wish you luck. But you're a plumber. I mean, you always will have work. It's not like computers or something that can be taken over by computers. You got to, yeah. Wow. That's awesome. All righty. So everybody send a cola some good vibes. Brianna, are you here? I was just pulled to your name, Brianna. So Brianna Wolf. Hello, Brianna. You know what? For you, Brianna, I'm going to I got to look at the cards, or not the cards, but it's the Divine Angel Oracle deck. So these are angel numbers with a meaning on them. So let me just see what comes up for you, Brianna. They're making me work for it tonight. I've been shuffling, like before I sit down, I'm doing this and I'm shuffling. Usually a card will pop out, but tonight it's all my guides telling me like, okay, stop shuffling. And they're telling me to go towards, I'm gonna share with you all my inner dialogue that's going through my mind right now. So literally my guide said, stop shuffling and kind of focus towards the bottom part of the deck, which I did. So these are the cards that are left at the bottom. And what I'm doing, I'm just fanning them out because I feel your card is in here somewhere. And see what I'm doing right now, I'm like kind of pulling them with my left hand, and it's like, okay, I feel your card. So transformation, this is the transformation card. So 555 is the angel number. And it's telling you to release old habits, embrace new opportunities for growth, and trust the universe's plan for you. So again, it's just about surrendering. And I think the anxiety, again, I'm not a doctor or any of that, but anxiety is when we worry about future events, right? Something that's not here. So I think that card is a perfect card for you because it's telling you, it's like you have no control over the future. So why worry about it, right? And I know it's easier said than done. We all do it. But I'm going to share with you really quick. And if I've repeated this story in the past, I'm sorry, but I like to share my experiences and what's kind of formed my way of thinking these days compared to years ago. So when I was sick, going through kidney failure and all that, I literally had to learn to live in the moment. I could not afford to worry or think about what's going to happen tomorrow. When are my kidneys going to fail? I mean, if I let myself do that, I would have been, locked up because I would have literally gone nuts. So I had to force myself to I just had to check in with myself almost on a daily basis. When the thoughts got dark and I started worrying, thinking about tomorrow, I was like, whoa, pull myself back. And it was like a self check-in. Like, how am I doing today? I literally would ask myself that question. How am I doing today? And 99% of the time is like, I'm fine. I'm not in pain. I'm not feeling sick. I'm fine. And that kind of got me through the day. And the more I practiced that mindfulness of that, it just helped me because, I mean, after I got sick, it was like I started college. I wasn't going to go, but I figured, well, if I lose my air traffic control medical, I have to go to college. So I got my bachelor's degree. I could have turned around and just said, what's the purpose? Why bother? I'm going to croak from this disease or illness. So I had to get away from that mindfulness, or I had to get away from that thinking. And I just had to focus on just day by day. So hopefully that has an additional message for not only you, but other people that fuck tomorrow. Tomorrow's not here. We have no control over it. So why worry about it? Oh, I do too, Brianna. Or I used to. And it's just taken years of just that mindfulness and just surrendering. Again, surrendering. And hello to everybody joining in. Kay Wizzy, I'm going to pull a card for you. I feel like I need to pull one for you from the Divine Angel deck as well. So Kay Wizzy, let's see what comes up for you. Oh, okay. The first one of the night that popped out. So Kay Wizzy, this is for you. Reassurance. Okay. And the angel number is 747. And if you want to look these numbers up on your own afterwards, feel free, because I'm sure they will go more in depth to the vibration of that number and what they mean. So for you, it says, trust your intuition and make practical decisions that align with your higher purpose. Your guardian angels acknowledge your efforts. Kate Wizzy, I immediately get pulled to talk about creating music. So I don't know if that's something you do. But that's something I feel, I don't know, there's something about like creating music, either with musical instruments or, just creating music. I think that's something important for you to kind of help you ground yourself and kind of just, to relax. So I hope that helps. Okay. Well, good then. There's some validation for you. All right. Laura Crawford, are you still here, Laura? Oh, good deal. Okay, Wizzy. Jennifer's here in the comments, I think, unless she might have stepped out. Laura, for you, I'm going with the Cosmic Records deck. I don't know, I just feel drawn to this deck for you. There she is. Hello, Nancy. How are you this evening? Okay, Laura, let's see what comes up here. Hello, Holly. And if I don't say hello personally, just know the comments are flying by. I appreciate every single person that's here tonight. I do. Thank you for spending some time on a Friday evening with me, which is very brave. I don't know. This is weird because I got 2 cards for you, Laura. So the first one I'm going to talk about is redefine. Okay. And this is just taking a check-in with yourself and looking around you and your life and the people in it, and just removing the clutter from your life. Who still serves you for your better good? Who drains your energy? It's like taking inventory of that. And it's important to do that every now and then. Is this relationship still serving me for the good? If not, that's where we have to step in and make a decision to either continue to just be drained by a certain person or cutting ties. It's difficult, but sometimes we have to do that. And every choice you make, it shapes the future for the better, or setting you up for another lesson. And this is the second card I got for you, guided by wisdom. And it's kind of almost validating that first card that you've walked this path before. And if this is true, it's like it's probably reoccurring because it's giving you another opportunity to face something that you might not want to face, but it's a lesson that you may need to learn. And those are usually the hardest, right? And sometimes it deals with upsetting some, other people, but again, you need to make that decision. Are you going to be nice to them and suffer for it? Or is it time to sorry, it's not selfish to look out for yourself and make that change, because it's going to benefit you and the people around you in your inner circle. So I hope that helps. Hello, Tia. Tia, I'm going to pull a card for you. I just got immediately drawn to Tia. So Tia, I'm working with 3 different decks tonight that I just bought. If you weren't here earlier, I'm asking for help because I need an intervention. I bought 3 new decks of cards this week, which I don't need, but it's a problem. I got pulled for you for the Clarifying Life Situations deck. So let me just see what comes up for you, Tia. And Laura, the thing with these two is if it doesn't make sense now, it's something to be mindful of because it may be something in your near future. So it's just a reminder, if you do encounter that, it's like, it's time to make that decision. I don't know. I always trust the message, whether it's now or something that may come up in the future, in the near future. Again, I don't predict the future, but sometimes they're just like, that little, hey, you may come about or upon this, just hey, just let you know if it does. Let's see, Tia, what's up for you here? Hey, and if anybody on here is on TikTok, I made the bravely stupid decision to get back on there. So I do lives on TikTok every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central. And it has changed since the ban. The last time I was on there, it wasn't uncommon to see 300 or 400 people in the live. And now there's like seven people. So I think a lot of people bailed, or the algorithm's just weird. I don't know. I'm giving it some time. I wanted to try it, so I'm there on Mondays. And then, of course, here. And then I may do just random Facebook Lives or Instagram during the week. We'll see. Thank you, Whitney. Yeah, if something hits my mind, Whitney, I just sit down. It's like, well, let me share this. I don't have, time to do my hair or anything. I just kind of sit down and go and see what comes from it. All right, with all that babbling, Tia, I finally got your card. Okay, so it's the Saving Grace. These cards are pretty cool. So again, I don't normally read the caption, but if it feels right, I will talk about it, and then I'll see what else comes intuitively. But this deals with forgiving yourself and others. So forgiving yourself and others it heals you, right? Because it's, in a way, you're letting go of something that you may be carrying towards a certain person, whether it's resentment or whatever. And again, it's not forgiving the person for the act, but it's you just forgiving them so you can let it go. This card, I mean, I literally could not come up with anything more spot on as from what I'm feeling, but it does. It lets you free. It kind of cuts that cord from whatever that situation is. And I'm also guided to say to everybody in here, even though I'm reading this for Tia, if this resonates with you, take this message for yourself. That's how spirit works, right? Tia, I don't know. Here's what comes up. And I know I've read for you a couple times. And I get very self-conscious about that. But I just feel you need reassurance that you're a good parent. I don't know if this is something you're feeling right now, but it's just I'm feeling into your energy. And it's a reminder that you are doing the best you can. And that's all we can ask for ourselves. Are we always going to make the right decision in the moment? Probably not. But we're all learning. But in the moment, you're doing the best that you can in that moment. So I think it's just important to remind yourself that you got to cut yourself some slack. So I hope that helps, Tia. You're welcome, Laura. Oh, that's good, Tia. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to pause just for a second and just say hello, everybody that's just joining in. Carrie, yes, I would absolutely pull a card for you. Even though you're a Boston Red Sox fan, I will push that aside. But before I go to your message, Carrie, I just want to see how everybody's doing. Wow, Carrie, I literally was like shuffled once and this card came flying out. So I'm just going to go ahead with the card right now. So the card is New Heights. And it's interesting because I feel this is what we've been talking about when we've been in our messaging back and forth about the idea you had. And not only that, but your current employment situation that you made a decision on. So let your connection with spirit ground you as you reach for the sky. So if that's not validation for what you just did, I don't know what is. I just feel it's like, again, I'm putting aside the Yankee or the Red Sox. So yeah, Carrie, that's pretty cool. Oh wow. All right, you're getting a bonus one. This one just I was like holding the deck and I looked at the bottom card, which is this, and it says worthy goal. So get out, be inspired to keep working towards your life's purpose. Holy shnikey. Double validation. Hello, Lindsay. Welcome in. I got to get a drink. So before I do another one, like I've been trying to do for a second and pause, just to see how everybody's doing out there. Does anybody have any questions? Not like guidance type questions, but just on metaphysical, an experience or questions about your development or, anything other than me reading you for it intuitively, just Amy, you know what we need to do? One night, you, Jen, and I need to just get on a chat, and I can answer that for you. That's right, Terry. It's a sign of your sign. Brianna, actually, no, because I have not set my intention to connect with anybody on the other side. So usually when I'm focused on either just talking like I am right now or doing cards, they kind of step back, and then I'm not even really aware of them, which is normal for me when I'm not working. However, I'm here, you're all here. If there's somebody on the other side that's like, hey, you need to, like, they'll get in my face. I will feel them in my energy. And it's almost like I can't ignore them. So usually when that happens, it's like, yes, I will acknowledge him, and then I will see what's up. But for the most part right now, I'm just kind of focused on just having a good chat with all of you, keeping it light tonight. No, they don't bug me. I think that's a myth. It really is. I believe it's based on a person's boundaries and their intention with this work. That I have never once in the 10 years I've been doing this felt like bugged or annoyed, or spirit has never interfered with my life in one, not even really once. They're us without a body. They are respectful of our boundaries. They know when we're just here living our muggle life, so they don't really interfere with that. So yeah, for me, it's like I go about my normal business and I'm not even aware. So Evelyn, Jennifer's in the chat. She's taking the evening off, so it's just me. You're stuck with just me. So hello, Adrian. Hello everybody. Any other questions? I'll jump back into cards here in a minute. I just wanted to pause. There you go, Diana. That's how spirit works. Here's an interesting story just to kind of highlight how this works. So I went and I had to get a new phone because my business phone is literally like an iPhone 6 that's probably 7 years old. And I was like, I'm not replacing that thing until it's like absolutely dead. I went into Cricket because that's our service the other day. And the lady's like, hey, have you considered Motorola? And I was like, it's a heck of a lot cheaper. And I was like, a lot of people are going from the iPhone to the Motorola Razr. I was like, let me check it out. So anyway, the day I went in, there wasn't any in stock. And I have a point here, so just follow along. So I was working with the one lady. She said, hey, let me call my manager. I think there's one coming tomorrow. We'll call you when it's in. So the lady that helped me wasn't there that day, but the next day the manager was there. And as I'm getting the phone and hooking it up, she goes, the lady yesterday mentioned that, this is a business phone. What do you do? And I was like, I never really say what I do. I mean, I'm an air traffic controller still, so that's usually what I say. But I was just like, what the hell? I said, well, I'm air traffic control, but I'm also a psychic medium. She's like, oh, wow. She goes, I'm into that too. And she started telling me how her granddaughters will talk to her husband. Like there's Pop, and the granddaughter's maybe 4 or 5. And how the granddaughter just talks to the spirits that are connected to the family. And she just lets it go. And she's like, yeah, what are they? So she encourages it. But there you go. It's like there's signs everywhere. The music that you hear, if it reminds you of that person, stop and take that in. That's them. We just have to acknowledge that's them. They set up that synchronistic moment for you in order to make you think of that person. So there you go. and then it goes silent for a minute. All right. So we got a few more minutes here. I'm gonna try to get through a few more here. Yeah, Lindsay. So Jennifer Lee and I do this show every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central on this Sacred Spiral Network. So this is a regular thing we do every Friday. And then I do TikTok on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. And then if I'm feeling it, because I'm still working full time, so if I'm feeling, I may do a random, Facebook or YouTube or Instagram live as well. So I'm kind of like all over the place. Yeah, Lydia, they got the B-52s flying over for the fair tonight. All right, here we go. Kind of like when I hear Daddy's hands are. Yeah, exactly, Laura. All right, Marilyn Johansson, are you still? Or is it? Oh, I'm sorry, Malin. My glasses need to be stronger. Malin, are you still here? I'll pull a card for you. And again, I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just kind of going with the flow. And remember that if the message resonates with you, take it. Sure, Jess, you show up like 8 minutes ago. Come on. All right, Malin. Let me feel into which. I think you need I'm feeling the angel, divine angel oracle card for you. So this is like an angel number guidance from your angels, if you will. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Right back at you. Everybody, if you don't follow Carrie Stringfield, go follow her. Her and I met. God, how long has it been, Carrie? We were in a class, was it with Cindy Kaza or was it Anthony Maraca? I can't remember. I think it was Cindy. So that's at least 5 years ago, because I think Jessica Potter was in there. Malin, I'll get to your card in just a second. I'm pulling. I got sidetracked like I usually do. But yeah, please go follow Carrie and follow Jess. Jess is just coming out of her spiritual closet and jumping out there. Yeah, Cindy is great. I think we took 2 classes with Cindy. She's just so down to earth. It was Cindy's class. Okay. Yeah, she's really nice. She's definitely one of those people that it doesn't matter that she's on TV and all that. She's just still a normal person, that is doing this work for the right reason, and it's just to help people. So I respected that a lot. All right, Malin, let's just see what comes up. And if I'm missing the other mediums on here, sorry. If I see her name, I will definitely shout you out. Like the person behind the scenes, Kelly Brickle. If you're not following Kelly, go follow Kelly. Hello, Jeremiah. I'm still shuffling Malin. The cards are being cards. Let me just see what my guys are telling me here. They just said, there it is. Okay, so Malin, here's your card. So 808, again, if you get an angel number, I encourage you to look up that number afterwards, because there's going to be more information about what that kind of entails. So this is prosperity, 808, okay? So it's telling you to embrace your potential, welcome prosperity, you're making wise decisions and holding the right direction. And then I usually put my intuitive spit on this as well, because I don't like to just leave it at the card and let the card do all the talking. Sometimes it is spot on and I don't feel I need to add to it. But and this is going to be a universal message, actually. I'm feeling that for my guys as well. When we focus on lack, guess what we're going to attract into our life? It's just the way it is, right? I used to go, yeah, this, artsy fartsy unicorn fart, blah, 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 universe, blah, blah, blah. But when I actually started paying attention, I go back and I look, and it's like, that's exactly what we get. If we have doubts, about like this mediumship, they're going to say, the universe is going to be like, he's not ready. He's not committed. He still has doubts in himself. So he may be saying in his mind, he's ready. He wants this. He wants that. But your words mean nothing. It's the energy behind it. Right. So, if we focus on things we don't have, which is like the definition of insanity, instead of appreciating, what we do have, and it's not material things, it's the people in our life, our health. I'll beat this to death. I was one of those, but when I got sick with kidney failure, that grabs your attention. And it's like, you listen to all those older folks that say, stay healthy. That's all you have. I would have given like millions of dollars to be healthy again than go through the crap that I went through. So there's a lot in that. It's appreciating what you do have in your life, and to focus on that and not the negatives. So that was a little bit drawn out, but I hope that makes sense, Malin. I know, Jess, I'm good with words, aren't I? I think the spirit world likes to pick people with like me, rough around the edges, has difficulty with the only language that I've ever spoke. So yeah. All right. Well, folks, it's come to that time. So what I like to do towards the end is I'd like to pull a card for before I call it night, because I want everybody to get something. See, there's my squirrel brain just went somewhere else, trying to focus back, bringing it back. So I'm going to pull a card from the Divine Angel Oracle deck for everybody. So this is going to be for the collective. Oh, anytime, Jen. I was saying last week, it's like I need to get used to doing some of these by myself, because I've gotten so dependent on working with you that when I went on TikTok by myself, I thought I was going to have an anxiety attack, because I'm like, everybody's staring at me and I'm just sitting here talking to myself. So this is like the third time in the last week or two that I've gone by myself, and it's actually like, okay, I can still do this, I guess. So it's a good lesson for me. And there's the card. Oh my goodness. Reflection. There's 3 of them. All right, so I'm going to go through these. So the first one is reflection. So angel number is 987. And it kind of, in a way, mirrors what I was just talking about, like evaluating ourselves, evaluating our actions. Embrace the introspection, if you will. You're a reflection. The world is a reflection of you. So what you're putting out there is what you're going to get from others. It's weird how this works. Simplification. That's the next one. So 654, simplify. Simplify your freaking lives. Again, focus it on what truly matters. And again, this is not coming from me. This is not from my mind. I am not this clever. This is from them. When we declutter, I'm sure everybody has done it. A little spring cleaning, whether it's in the spring or some other time. Have you ever noticed the difference that it makes in how you feel when you like remove something that's, a cluttered room, and now all of a sudden it's clean, everything's put in its place, it just feels different, and I just think we need to do that once in a while just to kind of clear ourselves. And then the next one, the last one is completion. So 999, 999. And they all kind of blend together because this one's releasing what no longer serves you, whether that's people, a job, you know. Nicola was on here earlier. I don't know if she is. She just recently quit her job, which is Carrie. Carrie just did the same thing. Sorry, Carrie, I'm calling you out. But it's that takes a lot of courage to just step out there in the unknown. But if you look at anybody, like on anybody's story who has become a success, it's never easy. They made a decision that, life's more about just doing, the daily routine. Now, I'm not knocking that. It's comforting. If you're happy with where you are, by all means. But if you're sitting there struggling, it's like that's the universe just testing you. It's like, okay, you're going to put up with this, or you're going to actually take action, and it can be just, I've done it. I've done it 3 times and it's terrifying. But there's rewards with that. There's an accomplishment that comes from that. So yeah, it's like release what no longer serves and embrace the new opportunity that may be before you, that's been waiting for you to take something, take action on. Yeah, Jennifer, reset the energy. And Jacqueline's like, the logical brain is a pain in the ass. So yeah. So with that, I've done a lot of talking today. My voice is about to go just crap out on me. So first, I want to say thank you to everybody joining me tonight. Jen will probably be back next week, so she can do some of the talking again. I appreciate you spending your Friday evening with me, or at least some of it. Hopefully these messages, helped. Again, not only for the people that got or received a card, but if the card meant something to you as well, I hope it helps in some way. And I think I will end on that before I start going off on another topic that happens to enter my little squirrel brain. So again, thank you. We'll see you next week. And again, if you're bored, if you want to hang out on TikTok Mondays at 7 p.m., come say hello. There's been 7 people that have been like routinely or religiously showing up to keep me company, which is awesome. But if you want to show up too, that'd be great. I never know what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens there. So until then, I'll have a great weekend and we'll see you sometime next week. Good night, everybody.